Right, now we're in the library.
We're in the library now.
We've shifted to the library.
Looking very
for a new
intellectual.
discussion. Yeah, for a new discussion amongst all the books.
So we'll come to our second section, and I just was very excited to read the other day, and I just got the press clip here about Goldman Sachs. And if you've been watching me, or especially listening to me on radio in the last few months, I've been very excited about watching people like Max Kaiser, Peter Schiff, the phenomenal Nomi Prinz, who wrote a book called It Takes a Pillage, which was a direct rip-off of Hillary Clinton's book, It Takes a Village. But It Takes a Pillage is what these people believe in, what the banks are doing to us. And they're not just people who talk about it, they are professionals who have been in the banking game themselves, and they are very educated people, and are trying to get some public awareness and consciousness of what the banks are doing in the world scene.
Okay.
So here we have the press, and I want to hold it up because I'm so proud of this article. I'm so excited about this. But the prosecutors, the New York State prosecutors, are bringing Goldman Sachs to justice.
Oh, sweet.
And they're using something called the Martin Law, which means they don't have to prove intent. They just have to show that there's been some nefarious bad doings.
Okay.
And Wall Street hates it. It hates Martin Law because it's so much easier for them to be brought to justice, brought to the face the law.
Well, it sort of makes sense because there's certain things where if someone's committed a crime like that, and they shouldn't be able to get away by claiming they didn't intend to. That's like saying, oh yeah, you caught me for speeding, but I didn't intend to speed, it was an accident, I didn't mean to speed, and saying, well okay, we'll let you go because you didn't actually intend to speed, and saying, well, we can't prove you deliberately intended to speed. You know? So in this case, you know, the financial institution gets away with quite a lot by saying they didn't intend to do something, don't they, normally?
Well, the interesting thing about Goldman Sachs is they've got so many fingers and so many pies around the world. They've actually been kicked out of Europe because of what they did over there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. they are pirates, man, I'm telling you. Now, the bankers over in Iceland have all been jailed. The Socialist Party in Ireland have all been taken out of Parliament because of the way that they just let the banks just take over. But one interesting case, recent development, is Gaddafi. The Gaddafi government invested millions and millions of dollars into Goldman Sachs as an investment, and it's all gone. It's gone. Millions and millions of dollars have literally disappeared as an investment. And Goldman Sachs are shrugging their shoulders. We don't know what happened. And Gaddafi is going, well, either we want the money, some money back, or we want fresh investments. So what's happened is that Goldman Sachs has had to open up a new portfolio for the Gaddafi administration. And this is what kind of cowboys we're talking about. But this is what they're being brought to. They're being brought to recognition in the courts now by the New York State prosecutors. You know, like probing investment frauds, Ponzi schemes, and white-collar crime. Basically, white-collar crime. The guy that, what was it, last year or 2 years ago, that got arrested for all those Ponzi schemes that he got caught for?
Right, yeah. Because it's happening too much in the financial industry. Too many people are getting away with committing a lot of these major white-collar crimes. I'm not talking about the little tiny people, I'm talking about the quite major ones. And they're getting away with it too easily. And it's purely because they're big businesses, and it's like, oh, well, we'll treat, often you get these big businesses, or the rich get treated differently than people who aren't well off. And this sort of thing, you know, you see it happen a lot in American law where a rich person who's suspected of a crime will be asked if they can be questioned, and then they say, oh no, we don't want to answer any questions, and that's it. Whereas the poor street dope dealer who's committed a crime doesn't get asked, can we question you? You're coming down to the station and you're going to answer questions whether you object or not. You know, that to me is that's like two different laws, one for the wealthy and one for the not so wealthy.
Well, you just reminded me also that one of the reasons for the Wall Street crash wasn't totally Wall Street. A lot of Mexican drug cartels took their money out of the banks in America, and that brought them to their knees as well, because they were using the banks to launder their money in America. Bank of America, they got found out about that, and they had to face prosecution.
See, one of the problems here is you get this situation where the big businesses like that, like banks and things, can say, oh, well, you know, we're not going to give you information on our customers that you suspect of having committed a crime, you know. And too often, you know, you get banks like that are hiding money for drug dealers, and those drug dealers get away with it. Whereas, as soon as the police say, oh, well, look, we suspect so-and-so of committing a crime, we want to look at his accounts, and his total income might be like a couple of thousand a month of that, and it's, oh, we want a warrant to search his accounts to see his transactions, and bang, oh yeah, that's not a problem, judge gives the police that right. Whereas if it was a multi-million-dollar company, it becomes a major court battle, at which either the judge denies it straight off, or says, oh, you haven't got enough proof. Whereas in the situation of a person who's just an average worker, the police aren't having to produce as much evidence that someone's committed a crime, and therefore the police need to look at their accounts. You know?
One of the reasons why I'm really excited about this court case, about this litigation, is because it doesn't drag on for years. Last year, Goldman Sachs paid $500 million to settle claims through courts. They can't make the court cases drag on and on indefinitely. They actually do get settled very fast.
That's good, because that's normally the other strategy of things like places like that, is to basically pump millions into lawyers and court costs to drag it out for years and years, especially when you've got big corporations being fought against by, you know, an average Joe Bloggs on the street, and they go, well, okay, Joe Bloggs can only afford probably cranking up a legal debt of a couple $100,000. We can crank up a legal debt of 2 or 3 million, so we'll just keep dragging this out until this person gives up and goes, well, I just don't have any money to keep fighting, and that's it.
Well, another aspect here too is that this investigation is a report on Wall Street's role in the collapse of the financial markets. If that builds momentum, it's going to go back to what happened during the 80s when credit unions in America, a lot of bankers in those credit unions were jailed, and that's the last time the bankers had. That's the last time. There have been no bankers jailed because of the Wall Street crash. It was all the bankers' fault. It goes as far as the Fed. It goes as far as the head of the Fed, Ben Bernanke. He just seems to have a Teflon, you know, like that, the Teflon Don they called the mafia boss. He'd done nothing stuck to him.
Yeah, that's another one of those things that's just crazy, is the fact that if, you know, the shoe repair guy down the street was ripping people off and committing major fraud crimes like that, he'd end up in jail. Bankers responsible for what they did, and it's a case of, oh, well, you know, we'll tell them they're naughty, but we won't punish them or put them in jail. We'll let them carry on being bankers, and most of those ones that caused the crash are still taking money off people, and still ripping people off, and still basically perpetuating what caused the Wall Street crash.
Well, another thing that the media won't show us is what's really happening in America. America is really, to all intents and purposes, as far as the media goes, like a giant fortress that no one can get into, because the media isn't showing what's going on. I mean,
well, the fact that they're pretty much broke at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, all the homeless, all these people that have been losing homes all across America, where are they? What's happening with these homes? They're all empty.